So here I am back again to explain some more about primary chords. But this time I'm going to explain to you what happens when we have chords built in the key of C major. The key of C major has no sharps or flats in it, which you think might make it pretty simple, and it is for the most part. If you were playing the piano, you would be using all the white keys. If you were playing the piano, if you were playing F major, you would have to use one of the black keys, the B flat keys. But now in C major, again, it would be all the white keys starting on C. Now with my xylophone, I'm going to show you starting on C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Notice that there are 8 pitches in the C major scale, which is the same as in any major scale. Every major scale has 8 pitches. And as before, we can have a triad built or made starting on the first step of the scale, which would be C. Now, just to make sure you understand, I'm going to count 1 to 8 as I play the C major scale again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I'm going to build a triad, remember triad means 3, just like that tricycle has 3 wheels. Triad, I have to start on C for my 1 chord, C, E, and G. That would be my 1 chord, also known as a tonic. Now we've also learned about the dominant chord in F major. Think about what is the 5th step in the C major scale. Well, let's count them. C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we were going to make our dominant triad, otherwise known as a 5 chord, then we'd have to start with G, B, I better add 1 more pitch up here. There's my D. I had to add a D to go up a bit, just a bit beyond my scale. There's my 5 chord, or my dominant chord. And here I am back at my 1 chord, or my tonic chord. Now remember, I wish I had brought home 3 mallets instead of 2, because if I had had 3 mallets, I could play these the way a triad is really supposed to sound, and that's all 3 of them together. Oh man, I wonder what would happen if I tried playing it. No, I better not try it with a pencil. But if I had another mallet, I could have played all 3 of these at the same time. You just have to use your imagination. Now, so we have the 1 chord built on C, and the 5 chord starting on 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 1 chord. But I want you to know about another chord, and that is the 4 chord. The 4 chord also, of course, wouldn't you know it, has another name. If the 5 chord is called the dominant, the subdominant is the 4 chord. Where do submarines go? They go below the water. Where does a subway go? It goes below the surface. The subdominant, sub, hear that prefix sub, is the chord below the dominant. So it's 1 step below, that's all. So now we're going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, D, E, F. And the same sort of situation, we're building a triad. We do F, A, C. That's the 4 chord. Now the 4 chord likes to go back to the 5 chord and back to 1. So that's a chord progression that is very common in lots of songs. Where do you find the chord symbols for them? Well, in our song Zina Zina, you would find the chord symbols written above the staff. You'll see them written as letter names. But in your mind, you could be thinking, I think if the song is written in C major and there is a C written above the staff, that must mean the first chord that is there is a tonic chord. Right. And if it happens to see an F, if you happen to see an F, that's C, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3, 4. That must be a 4 chord or a subdominant chord. And if you happen to see a G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, D, E, F, G. That must be a 5 chord, or otherwise known as a dominant chord. And guess where it wants to go back? To the tonic, which would be a C chord. And that helps you understand, I hope, a little bit about the primary chords in C major.